in continuing with disgusting and abhorrent actions, we have to talk about ICE because ICE has stooped to a seemingly new low. Well, I cannot necessarily say that I'm surprised because obviously fascism has no satiety in their quest for power. They will always become more and more depraved the more and more that they are allowed to operate with impunity. And this includes snatching newborn children out of their fucking bassinet in the hospital and detaining them, courtesy of NBC News. Newborn U.S. citizen and Guatemalan mom detained as she faces deportation. Newborn U.S. citizen, dude. Like there was an Onion article that was like ISIS that I gotta see if I could I gotta see if I could find it. Yes. Oh my god. 8 fucking days ago, the Onion posted this. Oh my god. Is the simulation using Onion articles to when they're programming? ICE agents wait at edge of delivery table to deport newborn. And then newborn US citizen detained as she faces deportation. I am I'm laughing because I don't know how else to cope with this. Like this is so unimaginably fucked up. And the fact that like this even exists, ICE is so fucked. A Guatemalan woman who gave birth to an American baby less than a week ago is being held along with her newborn as she faces deportation, U.S. officials said. The Department of Homeland Security said Sunday that the woman was apprehended by Customs and Border Patrol agents and hospitalized after she crossed the U.S.-Mexico border illegally while she was 8 months pregnant. She gave birth in the hospital, quote, under supervision, the spokesperson said. She was discharged by the medical staff and transferred to the custody of ICE as she awaits a court date, the spokesperson added. What other commentary can I provide? What other commentary can I provide here? Dude, ICE watched this lady give birth and then detain her ass along with her newborn. This is Gestapo shit. ICE really is the SS. They really are the Gestapo. Like you can't carve out an outlet. Like you can't carve out an exception for this lady. Like these people are such bloodthirsty freaks that they see an immigrant and they're like, we have to detain them. They like start fucking shaking and twitching. Like they start to tweak out because they see an unapprehended immigrant walking the street. A CBP spokesperson said in a separate statement Sunday that the woman illegally crossed into the United States from Mexico between ports of entry near Tres Belotes Ranch in Arizona last week. The location is on federal land just north of the U.S.-Mexico border along a desolate stretch of the Sonoran Desert about 72 miles south-southwest of Tucson. Following hospitalization, the CBP spokesperson said processing was completed and the unnamed mother was given a notice to appear before an immigration judge. Upon completion of the processing, the spokesperson said she was given the opportunity to contact a lawyer. Quote, this morning, custody of the woman was transferred to ICE enforcement and removal operations with a court date to appear before an immigration judge. The child remains with the mother. So she remains with the mother in like a holding cell in a detention facility. I mean, I don't know if these people like have ever encountered a baby before, but they require, a lot. Newborn babies require a lot, and I don't think that, you should impart PTSD into this child that is merely days old. A lawyer for the woman, Luis Campos, told NBC affiliate KVOA of Tucson on Friday that his client gave birth Wednesday and that he had been denied access to her during her time under hospital care at Tucson Medical Center. We've seen this numerous times Before famously, no one knew where Mahmoud Khalil went after he had been apprehended by the U.S. government. He wasn't allowed to speak to his wife. He wasn't allowed to speak to his legal team. So this is par for the course for the levels of fascism in the United States. A spokesperson for the medical center did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Reuters reported Saturday that the mother avoided fast-track deportation and intervention by Arizona Governor Katie Hobbs, who the publication said had intervened. Good. If you're a Democrat and you want to stand up against Donald Trump and his fascist immigration policy, this is the shit you have to do. You have to get in the way. You have to impede this process by any means necessary, whether that be not letting ICE into your city at all, or what we're going to talk about after this, what Denver did by not allowing ICE to go into certain public places. ICE cannot conduct the mass immigration that Donald Trump wants without the compliance of local law enforcement and without the compliance of state and local leaders. While Governor Hobbs supports securing the border, she has been clear. Oh, fucking spare me. She has been clear in her opposition to inhumane immigration enforcement practices. Hobbs' spokesperson Liliana Soto said Friday on Twitter, the governor will continue fighting to protect the constitutional rights of every Arizonan and keep our communities safe. Yeah, that's another thing. Conservatives understand due process challenge, impossible difficulty. The process here, what's going on here, or at least is what is detailed in this article, is the process that ICE is supposed to follow. They bring a case against somebody, they detain them. Of course, they probably didn't have a warrant for this woman's detention, which is not part of the process. But then a judge sees the case, a judge rules on the case, and then they decide what the appropriate punishment should be. Oftentimes, that is not what happens. ICE is just allowed to do whatever the fuck they want. Hobbs' press office did not immediately respond to a request for more information. The CBP spokesperson said Saturday that the mother had no right to legal representation until processing was completed and she had a court date. I don't believe that. I think you're wrong. How do you not have what? No, dude, you have a legal right to representation whenever you're accused of a crime, or whenever you're, detained by police. It is literally one of your rights as someone living in the United States of America. I don't know what the fuck this guy's talking about. A spokesperson's statement mentioned the woman has a child, but it did not mention that she had just given birth in custody. It described her as 8 months pregnant when she was apprehended north of the border. She was immediately given the opportunity to contact an attorney following processing and the establishment of a notice to appear, the spokesperson said. At all times, agents followed the law and adhered to CBP procedures. No entitlements were detained. I don't believe that either. No, they don't. They're not abiding by any law. They're just fucking making up the law. What do you mean? The DHS's spokesperson statement Sunday confirmed that the woman had crossed into the border with an unborn child. It categorized her as having been, quote unquote, rescued by CBP agents. Yeah, dude, the wolf rescued one of the chickens from my chicken coop the other day. The fucking hawk rescued the duck from drowning in the lake. Both DHS and CBP said the child has remained with her. Campos said he believes the woman will be deported and her child will be removed with her. Despite the newborn status as a natural-born U.S. citizen, quote, the child will probably go with her. He said there was a similar instance like this where a child was deported along with the mother, and the immigration officials claimed that the mother wanted the child to come with her, even though there were very obvious coercion, speculation, like the mother may or may not have known what the agents were saying to her. But on top of that, the father was like, no, the child needs to stay here. He said he hopes to apply for asylum for the woman because she feared for her life in Guatemala. Experts have said growing violence in Mexico along its border with Guatemala, where Guatemalans are known to work seasonal jobs in agriculture, along with the lack of opportunities in their homeland, have inspired tens of thousands of Guatemalans to trek north to the United States. Yeah, dude, immigrants leave their home country to escape political and economic turmoil. They come to the United States because they feel and they believe that they can make a better, safer life for themselves and for their family. President Donald Trump's early second term in the White House has brought a promised crackdown on those to the United States illegally. 3 other citizen children from 2 families were removed from the country with their mothers in late April under what representatives and critics have characterized as a rapid deportation that aims to circumvent their right to due process, an allegation federal border agencies have denied. One of the recently removed children is a 4-year-old with stage 4 cancer and a treatment regimen in the United States, representatives of his family have said. Trump's border czar Tom Homan said April 28th that the mothers requested that their citizen children depart with them. This was a parental decision. He said the mothers, however, said they were given no choice but to keep their young ones with them while they were being deported, according to a lawyer representing one of the families. Under an executive order, the Trump administration has also sought to end the kind of birthright citizenship, automatic U.S. nationality granted to almost anyone born in the country or its territories to which the Guatemalan mother's newborn is otherwise entitled. Federal courts paused the order, and the administration has requested emergency intervention from the Supreme Court, which is scheduled to hear the matter May 15th. Nothing about this is legal, by the way. I feel like I have to mention that the immigration agencies have effectively gone rogue because the president is allowing them to do so. Donald Trump talks to these demons and is like, if you just see a brown person, they don't even have to be like Mexican or Guatemalan. They be fucking Portuguese. Like someone who's like slightly tan, someone with olive skin. They're like, send them to El Salvador. It does not fucking matter. If they were serious about the immigration process, they would beef up the system so that way all of these folks whom they bring cases against have their cases seen by a judge and a jury, and the judge rules on whatever the appropriate punishment may be. However, that's a little bit of an issue for President Trump because he's trying to deport these people on the grounds of them entering the country illegally, which is not grounds for deportation. Coming into the country, quote unquote, illegally is akin to getting a fucking speeding ticket. Once you pay the speeding ticket, it's over. And then you allow these people to go through the appropriate channels to gain citizenship. But they don't want to do that. They would rather just expel all of these people from the country, despite the tremendous ramifications it would have both domestically and internationally for those people being forcibly sent back to their home country, to their native country.